Okay. Dan who? Dan double you. Let's go. Ow, wow, listen right now. Everybody knows the man that says pow. Start the show, gonna talk some toys. This is for the grown-up girls and boys making noise. Let's start the show. Talking Marvel Legends and the money that we blow. Honestly, look, there ain't no stopping me. Turtles and Joes too, let's do this properly. Need to buy more toys, don't tell my bank. Wasn't me, promise it was Hellfire Hank. Whole Who crew, look, they made me do it. If it lands at my door, then I best review it. Screw it, I don't usually boast, but I got Rich M, he's here to host. Raise a toast and raise some ducks. This isn't your average show, we're deluxe. Pow, and welcome back to the channel, Dan Who Reviews. As always, my name is Dan W. Make sure you are following me on Instagram at It's Dan Who. Hopefully you already are. And we are back with episode 227, I believe. And luckily for us, there was a Marvel live stream today. So we didn't even have to think hard about a topic, as there is some fresh Marvel Legends news that literally happened a minor couple of hours ago that we are going to be recapping today. When I say recapping, again, let me get Rich in and then we'll talk. Rich, are you there? Hello, Rich.
Oh my god, I just had to pick myself up off the floor, Dan. Sorry. It wasn't through excitement. It was because I fell asleep, Dan. I've been sleeping for the last 2 hours.
Oh dear, Rich fell asleep. Well, let's not wait anymore. We will, of course, do the housekeeping first.
Oh, there they are again. Oh.
Today we had, well, how many's that? 6, 7, 8, 9.
Too many, Dan. Too many.
9 Marvel Legend Spider-Man Gamerverse figures revealed. So basically, the whole Marvel live stream was Gamerverse, and I think, because they know that maybe not everyone collects Gamerverse, they threw a comic one there at the end as well. So we did get that Warpath 2-pack. But we will recap the whole thing and you'll get our thoughts on everything regardless. Because me and Rich, if we're anything, we're game experts. We are absolutely... I genuinely do own a PS5. I do. I use it to watch Netflix and Disney+. But you actually play games, Rich, right? You've played these games.
I think you misheard what I said when you thought I said game expert.
Oh. Okay, yeah, never mind. We'll let the audience piece that one together. Right. Right, so there is a poll in the chat as well, so please do get involved as always with the poll. This is a community driven show. I am very curious what you guys think. Again, no right or wrong answers. You can love and hate whatever you want, but the question is, will you be buying any of the Gamerverse figures? 3 options for you: yes, all in, we'll pick and choose a few, or nope, 0. So far, 7% all in, 54% will pick and choose a few, and 39% say nope, 0. And so far, 69 votes, but I'm sure we will...
Who is all in on? Like, write your name in the chat.
Yeah, who is all in? Let us know, and we'll read a couple out. But again, I've got thoughts on this wave, so we will get into it. But yeah, please get involved. If you have your phone, your laptop, however you are watching us, get involved with the poll. We're very curious to hear your perspective on this. And let yourself known in the chat. I'll do the housekeeping and come straight back to you. But like always, we have the channel membership goal now every single week. If we can hit 5 super chats in the live stream, then I will leave that bonus show public while we are live. So if you want an extra half an hour of community content, your support is always appreciated. All right, so Who Crew Deluxe otherwise. So if you want to be a part of the show tonight, you can do so. Let us know your thoughts, obviously, on these Gamerverse figures. It is very much appreciated. If not, though, you can still contribute to the channel any way you want. Super chats are appreciated. Friday has lost her voice. She's changed her voice. She's turned into Thursday. We're still not to the bottom of that, but anything over £4 or $4, we should hear our voice this evening. We appreciate you as always. And again, take it one step further. Hit that join button, become a channel member. I got at it with some, I didn't go at it actually with someone. I was talking to someone in my comment, someone who thought, Rich, that we were what's the word? Like spreading false news. Do you know, because last week the
fake news, Dan. Fake news.
Do you know last week the title was like sold out? Well, some people were in the comments going, it's not sold out, it's still available here, there. And I sort
I
of
didn't know you were on about yourself. You're just a total sellout, Dadu. That's what you were talking about.
What can I say? But I went back and forth in the comments and like very polite. Again, not like just saying, look, I apologise you've seen it from that perspective, but we were talking about the UK buyer experience. I don't buy from the stores that you were referring to. Again, last week I put all the links in the description as well for every site. We even showed on screen the website that it was sold out. I feel like we were very transparent, but the person commenting never even watched the stream. So they were just like...
Why watch a video on YouTube, Dad? Why watch videos when you can just write comments?
Well,
no point.
That's what I said. I sort of said, I feel like if you actually watched the stream, you might have a And he ended up apologising and become a channel member. So there you go. There is some light at the end of the tunnel there between comments. Okay, I have no problems having a conversation with people, but at least watch the stream before you comment on said stream. Do you know what I mean? People just make assumptions without clicking the button. So all I'm saying is all the viewers here, I appreciate you this evening. So let's say hello to some names out there. I'm going to scroll all the way up.
Hello.
David Mitchell was in the chat. So glad your live doesn't clash with EastEnders. Catch you soon to talk toys. Okay, we've got an EastEnders.
Oh, it was live. It was a live episode tonight.
Oh, okay, that's why. It was 40th anniversary, right? EastEnders.
Yeah, Sonia and Bianca are trapped in one room. Martin and Stacey are trapped in another room. The ghost of Angie came back last night.
Oh dear,
amazing stuff going on. Emmerdale's really good at the minute as well. Everyone's dying in Emmerdale. Amazing.
Not watched soaps ever in my life. So, but I know Sonia used to play the trumpet or saxophone or something, if I remember correctly.
She does play the trumpet.
There you go. See, I remember weird facts, and that's the one I remember. Damien's in there as well. Disavowed action figures. Tac Toys, Crescent Blue Zero, Jamie Gitchard. The Wolf Pack is howling at us. He said, took a lunchtime, took a late lunch, mate. It's going to be listening to this one. We're going to be in Miguel's ears with his AirPods in. Paul McCartney says, evening all, just Warpath, finally. And Laura, great 2-pack. It started with a click. Shelley says, evening all. And she's put her Hellfire, Hank and Banjo together. I see what she did there. I like it. Mikey Moonboots is here as well. Darth says, sup chap. John says, hi Dan and Rich. This is the first time ever that I have watched the Marvel Legends fan stream and wanted nothing that was announced. I'm sure you're not the only one this evening, John. We shall discuss. Kurt K's in there as well. Jay's Toy Collector UK. I did actually watch Jay's stream. Jay went live straight after with Adam Batman Moran as his co-host. And Jay wants quite a bit, actually. I was surprised with the amount. Jay, instead of playing the games, just watched the cutscenes on YouTube. So he feels invested now. So we know Jay's problem is if he watches anything that has toys associated with it, he's going to want the toys. So it's his own fault for watching the bloody cutscenes. I am not as Fink as you. Hi, I am. That is a very confusing name, but he says hello. Figure Fight Club says, what's up, guys? Space on the Shelf says, evening, yo, Kingpin back. I think Pete's coming to the next toy fair. So Pete, me and Rich will see you. You're coming to the April toy fair as well, right, Rich?
Yes, it's the day after Sugar Babes, isn't it?
That's where I'm
going. But Toy Fair's there as well. Hey.
There you go. So Pete, you'll see us at Toy Fair. Home Dude said Kingpin. That's it. Who else? We've got Thomas Cloud, Captain America's in the chat. What's up, everybody? Hey, Dan, I watch your channel all the time, and this is the first live stream with you, bro. Well, thank you very much, Captain America. I appreciate that Cap is here. Rob Pollock's also here as well with the Revo. Super Sorrel. Who else we got? Ash, Adam, Cute Cool, Collecting Rush. We appreciate you all. So let's get into the toy talk then, shall we? So like always, we like to recap the week that was in Marvel Legend news. And luckily for us, the Marvel Legend live stream was a Thursday, which I think they did on purpose because they know we stream on a Thursday, Rich. And they needed to hear our thoughts on these Gamerverse figures, even though they're going to maybe not want to. But no, it's fine. So let me start off with a disclaimer, okay? So obviously the Marvel Legends live stream was today. Right, and I was surprised, Rich, to see a Marvel Legends live stream so soon after one in January. So it was about a month. We don't usually get a monthly. It's usually maybe once every 3 months, would you say? But it's never usually a month sort of schedule. So I was surprised to see one not only a month after the last one, but also a week before Toy Fair. Because for anyone who doesn't know, next week, the first weekend in March, is New York Toy Fair. It's back in its sort of spring schedule, which I think a lot of the bigger companies prefer because then they can sort of show you everything that's coming out for the year ahead. and Hasbro are going to be there in attendance. The Marvel Legends team are going to be there. There's going to be like a little fan influencer event. And Dan Yoon has already confirmed on Twitter today there will be a few more surprises revealed at Toy Fair. So we will be getting some more Marvel Legend reveals next weekend as well. So I was surprised that, like, only a week away from Toy Fair, that they're revealing some stuff. But then when the stream started and they're standing in front of all these Gamerverse figures, I think we all clicked straight away. We knew what direction it was going. I've seen a few people in some of the group chats I'm in think that they were going in the Capcom direction because they were showing off Gamerverse figures, and obviously everyone...
Oh, those fools.
People are very excited for, again, only rumoured currently, but there has been a few teasers out there that we're going to be getting some type of Capcom figures. But remember, we've never really had Marvel Legend Capcom figures as such in regards to officially branding it Marvel versus Capcom. So I think we're going to get Capcom tribute figures, but they may not use the term Capcom. I don't know. Time will tell. I could be completely wrong, but it's safe to assume, based off these lists that are out there, that they are on the horizon. But no, it wasn't. It was Spider-Man Spider-Verse figures for the Spider-Man game. And as you've seen already, they revealed 9. A full wave of 6, a Walmart exclusive with that Spirit of Spider-Man there, and then 2 deluxe. And they used the word Super Deluxe quite a lot as well, referring to that Venom. So I assume that's because it's going to be a bit of a higher price point than your regular deluxe figures. So 9 full figures. And just first and foremost, right, I love Legends, you know I do, but Legends, if it was a pie, there'd be different slices. Comics a slice, MCU's a slice, animated a slice, Gamerverse is a slice. My least favourite slice, just speaking for myself, is definitely the Gamerverse slice, okay? Because I'm a nearly 40-year-old man. I don't have much time for computer games. The free time I do have, I spend it on YouTube with you guys.
I thought you were going to say I don't have much time for the world. I was like, Dad, you're only 40. Calm down. Calm down.
Don't have much time left. No, but I don't play computer games. I'm more nostalgic to the games I played when I was younger. Don't really invest. Some games these days, you need to invest like 100 hours to complete campaigns and stuff. Ain't nobody got time for that. Well, some people do, and that's fine. I understand. Gaming is a massive market, but it's just not for me personally, all right? So, obviously, these Gamerverse figures do not appeal to me massively, but I'm not naive, and I don't disencourage this. I actually think if you are a Gamerverse fan, and if you are a Spider-Man 2 fan, looking at this looks pretty solid. You've got a full wave of Gamerverse figures, different Spider-Man outfits, Miles and Peter. You've got a nice looking Kingpin, who was the first villain of the first game. You've got an epic looking Venom. You've got Black Cat, who looks very accurate to her appearance on the game, which is the whole point of this release. So, like, if you are a Gamerverse fan, this must look really good. Like, the packaging is really nice. It's all very much on theme. So I completely understand this is going to be appealing to a particular demographic of Marvel Legends fans. And I encourage that, like, because I completely understand that if we want Marvel Legends to continue to be a successful brand, and we want to continue getting MCU figures, continue getting comic figures, we've got to continually add new people to the line, because people are constantly dropping off, but then we need to encourage people to get back on. And everyone has their different forms of jumping on points in regards to just Marvel in general. When we were younger, in like the 90s, it was the comics or the animated shows like myself. But this generation are probably being introduced to a whole cast of Marvel characters through the medium of games. So if it could be a way to encourage new collectors on, then happy days. It's not for me, but that's not a bad thing. I don't need to buy everything. So I just wanted to put out there as a disclaimer. Me and Rich are obviously going to have a few laughs and jokes as we recap these, but the reality is I'm not actually mad about this.
Hilarity. I just couldn't stop laughing the whole review.
But yeah, I don't think this is a bad idea either. It's just not for me, and that's okay, people. If we want Legends to continue to keep, just think it's survived 23 years. The Marvel Legends brand has survived 23 years. If we want it to survive another 23 years, then let there be Marvel representation via all the forms of Marvel media, whether that be comics, movies, TV shows, animated shows, or even games. So I don't disencourage this by any means. I welcome this. It just isn't very appealing to me and my collecting preferences, but that no means do I think this is a bad thing. I think if you are a Gamerverse fan, you're probably going to be very happy with these. So yeah, I just wanted to put that out there as a disclaimer first, because it's going to look like me and Rich are just bitching and hating. We're not. We're just having a bit of fun. I always feel like these streams we're talking amongst friends. But the reality is, I understand this is for a particular demographic, and I welcome it. You don't have to buy everything, people. It's fine. Let's welcome some new collectors on. Let's introduce a whole new audience of collectors to Marvel Legends via this format. So, Rich, do you have any just opening statements before we get into this, I suppose?
So I've played both Spider-Man games and the Miles Morales games, but equally, both of these games have been represented. You've had like a Peter Parker and you've had the Miles Morales, who are like the main characters. I don't know, none of this appeals to me at all. I just think it's a bit late. It's missed the boat. This is a game that came out in like 2023. And I know, I'm sure there's people that love it and will get it. But yeah, this is probably the first time in a while that I can safely say I'm not everything on screen now. I'm not going to pre-order none of it. And there was a little bone that hooked me in at the end, thankfully, or a little claw. But otherwise, yeah, this whole stream was like, yeah, it's there. It's there, I suppose, for people who want to watch it.
Yeah, I've played. I played the first Spider-Man game all the way through. Because like you said, that was like 2018, right? So I played that all the way through. But I never brought Spider-Man 2. I'm rich, bitch! Shout out Mark Tac. I'll come back to that in a moment. I never played Spider-Man 2. I never played the Miles, so I've not continued the story, but I am familiar with it. And I did enjoy the game. For the record, I did enjoy playing Spider-Man. Just I don't have the time to invest in games anymore. If I didn't do YouTube, just think how many hours I invest in YouTube a week. If I didn't do YouTube, of course I can indulge in some games. So again, you just have to pick and choose, don't you? So I completely get it. I actually think the packaging looks great. I think the figures look great for what they are trying to represent. It's just not aimed at me, and that is okay, people. All right. So look, I did pick up some of the older Gamerverse stuff. They have re-released this since then. So there's a pinless version. This Miles was a very solid Miles, and then there are a couple of other Gamerverse suits, because the game has tons of suits. So again, some people may have their favourites here in figure form, and I'm sure there's suits out there that people wish they would have made instead. So it's very hard to please everybody, as you know. But yeah, I just wanted to put a disclaimer out there that, like, this may not be for me and Rich, but we can talk about it. We can have a fun conversation about it. But I'm probably with Rich, and nothing from here appeals to me as a collector. My Gamerverse figures I literally bagged up in a box. But I am sure there's going to be big fan. Again, I've seen in the chat people already big fans of this. So let's just go through it. The stream. So there's Dwight. Dwight looks very happy to be revealing all of this Gamerverse stuff today. Cheer up, Dwight. It's not that bad. Mikey Moonboots donated the $4.99.
Mikey Moonboots donated £4.99.
Friday. That sounds like Friday's voice. Is that Friday back?
Yeah, I think Friday's back.
Friday, where have you been, love?
Back from vacation.
She had Thursday. That is definitely the Friday we know's voice. Mikey Moonboots, we appreciate you. Friday is alive. And Tac says, Rich, I really like your t-shirt. Can I insta message you where you got it? Hope it's really cool.
I think it's cake worthy, but truffleshuffle.co.uk sell them in the UK.
Mikey Moonboot says, it won't let me write out. Was going to say fire, ghost spider. Well, that was the first reveal, so I'm sure we'll get to that very quickly. So there you go. There's they announced the Gamerverse figures. So basically in front of them are all the Gamerverse figures they have released so far in the accompanying packaging. So everything is very much on theme. I have a couple of them here in my hand. So I've basically got everything on this table apart from the re-release of the regular Spider-Man. I've got the first one that has the pins in, but yeah, that was the better re-release. So this is everything they have released so far for the Spider game. Did you get any of that, Rich?
I got the Miles. That's the only one I got.
Yeah. So the Miles is decent. It's a very nice Miles for sure.
It can fit in your comic display as well. So.
Exactly. It's your rules, your display. You do what you want. So yeah, they are basically confirmed it's basically a Spider-Verse stream, and they didn't mess around with reveals. The first one is going to be a Walmart exclusive, and I believe his name is the Spirit Spider Suit. So this is going to be a Walmart exclusive, and it's the Spirit Spider Suit. So it's like a Ghost Rider Spider-Man hybrid, I assume would be in its most basic context.
I think he was called Ghost Spider before they give Spider-Gwen that name for a bit.
Okay.
So, and he's a Ghost Rider, but he does debut in the comic books as well. He is in the comic books in a different look, and then they make him into this look as well. In I think it's a Hulk annual or something. But you could definitely fudge this in to a comic book display of like Spider-Verse Spider-Man. And he's got quite a unique look. I would say, out of all the figures revealed, he's one you could possibly shove into a Spider-Verse shelf. But it's not one that I need. But he looks all right, I suppose.
Yeah, this one's definitely more comic leaning because it's not as heavily. Some of the MCU stuff is really well. It's not MCU, but some of the Gamerverse stuff is heavily textured, like some of the live action MCU stuff. Where this one looks more comic friendly. Like, yes, absolutely. I do think all of these figures you could fit into a Spider-Verse, like an expanding Spider-Verse shelf. That's. Of course you can. But yeah, this one's definitely more comic leaning. It comes with the swipping hands, fisted hands, and open palm hands. So yeah, that is your Ghost Spider. They did show all the boxes off as well. So if I've got the images, I'll throw them up as we go through. Yes, I do. So there he is. There he is in the packaging. Again, the packaging is on theme. Very nice. And that one says Spider-Man 1, not Spider-Man 2. So I don't know if anyone noticed that. But out of the list of figures, some of them... yeah, the rest of them say... everyone in their wave says 2, but Kingpin and the Spirit of Spider-Man, Spider-Ghost guy, they both just say Spider-Man, the first thing. So Kingpin and him are the first game. Everything else is the second game. Just a little detail. So there's him. So yeah, here's the type of figure I probably would see myself picking up, Rich, to be fair. Because like you said, absolutely fair game for a comic display. Yes, it's accurate, represents something from the game, but the game took inspiration from the comic. So of course I can put it in a display for sure. But not enough for your shelf.
No, I'm good with this one.
All right, fair enough. Next up, Kingpin. Now, Kingpin's always a popular character. The figure always goes for a pretty penny on the aftermarket. And Kingpin in a black suit is something that people have wanted. So, again, maybe this is a way to get a Kingpin in a black suit in your comic display. They have got the digital face printing tech on the head sculpts. I think the head sculpts look really good. They're sculpted by Paul Hardin. He was showing them off over on Twitter. So yeah, Kingpin in the black suit based on I believe it was the Joe Fix-It Build-A-Figure body, so that's the sort of proportion. They said sculpted new hands because he's wearing different rings, but the heads are new with the digital face printing tech. It looks like a solid Kingpin in the black suit. You can't fault it. It's going to be an Amazon exclusive, I guess, for both sides of the pond. So I guess your pre-order will go up way before ours in the UK. But yeah, another opportunity to add a Kingpin to your collection in the black suit. And again, just like the Ghost Spider we've just shown, another one that could probably be used in a comic display as well. Why not? So... yeah, what do you think of this one, Rich? Is a Kingpin wearing his black suit is a look from the comics as well. Of course it is.
Yeah, and I think like Toy Biz did it back in the day. They did
in the Two-Face 2-packs. Yes.
Yeah, of Kingpin. So again, yeah, this could fit in a comic display. The heads are good, but Kingpin to me is always in the white suit, and I like my classic Kingpin. Again, if you've missed out, you want a different version, like this could go with like a Shadowlands Daredevil or something like that as well. Like there's ways you can fit it in. It's not a bad figure, but again, not one I need for my collection.
Yeah, no, I'm with Rich. My mind's eye of Kingpin will always be the white suit because of the animated show. But if someone's never seen the animated show and plays the Spider-Man game, then their mind's eye is going to be the black suit. And that's why these figures exist. We are given options out there to collectors because everybody has a preference. I do like that it comes with the 2 facial expressions as well. And if you've got any of the previous Kingpins, you know what you're getting yourself in for with this. He's big, he's imposing, and I think they did put a figure next to him on the display, didn't they, to show off his size. Did I skip that image? Probably did, didn't I? But it is big. He's decent. He's a decent scale for a Kingpin, as he should be. And I like him. He's like, in the game as well, he's not like just round. He's not like fat. He's like big and chunky, and that body mold I think suits this figure here as well. So there you go. So Kingpin. So again, Walmart exclusive for the first one, Amazon exclusive for the second one. So now we're getting into the wave, and I'm going to have to get my list up of names for this one, Rich, because I don't know these names off by heart. I'm not going to lie to you. And also, I wasn't too sure which ones were Peter and which ones were Miles as they were going through. But I have a list, which this one is Miles Morales upgraded suit. So basically, this is Miles' take on this look. So this is the look that was created as a unique suit for the Spider-Man game with the white logo in the middle, which we do quite like. So this is Miles's version of that upgraded suit with the blue, white. He sort of looks like a Miles Morales Captain Britain. I don't know why I'm thinking that, but it definitely has that vibe to it. He's got his shock effects that we have got on the Gamerverse Mile previously. He comes with his fisted hands as well, and some web blasting hands. And I think this is a little bit new, right? Or is it basically just the same as this? I'm looking at this now. I think it's repainted. I think it's this repainted, because the same sculpted texture is what's on that, I believe. The chat will tell me if I'm wrong.
It looks like it's just a repaint.
But I think it's a repaint of the previous Miles. So yeah, I think it, which a compliment of this figure was the nice sculpt. It is pinless. It's got the really nice articulation, and it's got like the textured sculpt as well. So again, a repaint of this isn't necessarily a bad thing if you wanted your Captain Britain version of Miles Morales. I mean, upgraded suit version of Miles Morales. Was this a look you were familiar with, Rich, before they showed it on stream?
Yeah, I see it. Like, I played through the second game, and I like Jay, I've watched cutscenes of the bits I didn't get to, and yeah, I mean, I understand it. So it's giving Miles the classic Peter colors, isn't it? It's giving that kind of look to it, but he's still got like his Venom blast going on. But yeah, not one I need. But if you're a fan of Miles Morales, this seems to be a good year for you, because this is the second Miles Morales we've had revealed this year. Obviously, in the comic book wave, we had a Miles revealed, more comic one, and now we've got this one.
Yeah, again, so you know all that texture on there is all sculpted because we have this figure. It is a straight up repaint of this figure. But again, that's not necessarily a bad thing. And it is accurate to what they're trying to represent as well. So that is, again, shout out Jay. He made me do this. So that is your image from the game of the suit and then the actual figure itself. So again, they've done a pretty solid representation in action figure form, completely pinless as well. So not mad at that one. So that's the upgraded suit. And also shout out Brandon, who you may know or may not know. He may have an emoji in the chat. He was the one who posed all these figures. So he's probably hiding under the table. So do you know when they put their hand under the table to get a figure? Brandon's under there, like passing them up to them, I think. Oh, actually, yeah, I probably shouldn't say
too many jokes there.
Bite your tongue,
away from that one. Bite your
tongue. Bite your tongue. Yeah, let's keep going. Right, next up, Venom, or a symbiote suit. So we're now back to Peter, I believe. Okay, so that first one was Miles Morales. Now we're back to, if you get those images out your head, Rich. Now we're back to Peter. So this is Peter's symbiote suit from the second game, which just has some really nice texture on it. Like, this actually does look like a really solid symbiote suit, and I think this is newly sculpted because of the unique texturing on the body, and it has some of that better articulation we like as well, as it has the ball joint at the top of the diaphragm, the ab crunch down towards the waist, and then yeah, it's got some unique sculpting and some butterfly joints and double jointed knees. It's got the swivel at the boots as well. So I think this one may actually be appealing again, like for comic and Gamerverse fans, because it is just a black suit with a lot of texture, which looks good. It looks good. Like,
yeah, because I think the symbiote suits, they always release it again and again. You think, how can they do it again? But obviously this one's got more texture to it. Like when it is released normally, it is just like a black figure with that like white spider logo painted on it. Yeah. So I suppose this is a different take on that. I like the tendril bits coming off him as well. So yeah, I don't hate this, but I don't need it. I don't need the jam. That's the only thing.
Yeah, so we get a new effect piece with this in the middle, which we've not seen before. I'm not a massive fan of the effect pieces that we get with Hasbro Spider-Man figures. I think if they were articulated or bendy wire, I think we'd appreciate it a lot more. But I always swap mine out for custom-made ones anyway that will hold their pose on the display. These ones are quite awkward to hold their pose because they just sort of droop over time. And we're not a fan of drooping that.
It's not drooping, never good, but I think Tyler in the chat mentioned that none of them come with like C-grip hands, so none of them can actually hold these accessories.
Interesting. So I guess they just grip around the wrist, right? They you sort of plug the X.
Stick them down.
Yeah, because how's he got them here? So he's got it sort of
like going over the fingers, I think.
So yeah, he's sort of got it gripped around the open palm hands, and he's just sort of looped it in the sort of open grip, and that pose looks good. It works. And again, it looks great in the packaging. I do think this one will be liked by a wider scale of people for sure. And it does look good. Again, for what it represents, based off what I've seen in that game, it looks good. So there's your second one. And I did grab another comparison image for that as well. There you go. So again, you can see in the game, it was a lot more textured, which they have sort of replicated on the Legend as well. You can see all that Origin texture. So there we go. So there's your second Spider-Man out of the two. Let's keep going. Next up. So I believe this one is called... So this is back to Miles. So we're now back on Miles Morales. And this is... I can't say the word, Rich. It's Boricua. I don't want to offend anybody, but I'm just super dyslexic. So it's... I know it's the Puerto Rican flag in the middle. So it's probably...
Yeah, it's like acknowledging his heritage. And
yes, no, of course. It's very nice. It's I'll put it in the chat. I apologise. I can't pronounce that word. That's on me. But I know I can see what it's called, but I know I'm going to butcher it if I try and pronounce it. But there you go. I'll put it in the chat. But yes, it's the Puerto Rican flag in the middle. And again, is paying tribute to the culture, to the heritage, like Rich says. And I think people will like this one as well. That's a big element of Miles Morales' character, is his origins and his culture and all of that. So it's nice that you can represent that now in plastic. And I think it looks good. It looks good. It looks like a Captain Puerto Rico type vibe again, and I say that as a term of endearment, not as I think it looks good for what it is. Very nicely sculpted as well. He comes with another web effect piece. Again, no gripping hands, but you can sort of grab him around the extra hands there, and there he is in the packaging as well. So yeah, looking really good. And if I grab the image, so the image from the actual game, there was actually different color ways of this suit. So this is like a dark blue, and then the blacker version is in the background. So they could have went a few different directions with this suit, I think. But yeah, I don't think the black is inaccurate by any means. It's just a little bit glossier in the game. But I do think the one in the back there is meant to be black. There's no point trying to get me to pronounce it phonetically as well. Trust me, I'm super dyslexic. I don't know what sounds words make when they put together. Like I don't know what I can't pronounce it phonetically either. That's the me thing. I'm an idiot, not anyone else. So I apologize. But yeah, there we go. So there's your fourth one. So this one is back now to Peter. And this one is called the Anti-Venom Suit. And again, just like we've seen with the previous Miles suit, in the game they actually have different colorways for this as well. And this one is a bit more metallic-y purple. Sort of reminds me of the Ultimate Spider-Man with that metal. Do you know we got
5-pack?
Yeah, we got, because that was a bit more glossy and purple, wasn't it? But this one has the unique sculpting on the chest, and it has some... I think it's like the Sunfire body, but the pinless version, right? Because it's a bit more muscular. Like, I think that's the Sunfire body, but the pinless version of it. I think so, because it was always that little bit more athletic, a little bit more sculpted muscles. But yeah, I like the design. I do like, and I like the colour as well. Just not something I'm familiar with. But there's definitely like a shiny purple with like a pearl or a white. And then this one, we do actually get a second head sculpt as well. It's the only one that actually comes with an interchangeable head, and it also comes with a web effect. So I think most of these are coming with effect pieces. Yeah, it's got to be the Sunfire body. So it's got the peg in the back for no damn reason. So yeah, I think it is the Sunfire body with the pinless arms and legs. Yeah, Kev's Collectible saying purple, question mark? Is that not purple? Is that blue? It looks purple to me. What colour is that, Rich?
It's like metallic-y blue. Like metallic-y blue, navy?
It's definitely got a purple tinge to it as such. I guess you could say it's blue. It's on the spectrum of purple and blue. It is somewhere. And then...
It's like navy-ish, isn't it?
Yeah, it's on the spectrum. It's on the spectrum. And there it is in the packaging again. So I do have, again, I've tried to find the images from the comics here, or from the game, and I think, again, that's what it is trying to represent. And again, this has different colours in the game as well, where you can have different versions of this suit, and they went for the purple one. Did they choose that so it stood out against the overall wave? Maybe. Maybe it was just a favourite of someone designing the figure, but still, they went with the purple one, and it looks good. Next up, we're back to Miles now. So we went from Miles to Peter to Miles to Peter and then back to Miles. So Miles gets 3 and Peter Parker gets 2. So this one is the Brooklyn 2099 suit for Miles. So it's a little bit more tactical as he has like the combat trousers on. They are pinless though, but I'm not sure where they're reused from. They may be new because the top part is definitely new as that all red element is all sculpted on there and it's again, it looks it's like futuristic military. Like I actually quite like the design here. Again, it's not something I'm familiar with, but I like the sort of tactical element of this suit. You've got the sculpted wrist blasters or whatever on there as well. Tactical belt. Yeah, I like this one. It seems to have the nice articulation. Again, sculpted detail on the back as well. It comes with the web effects that we've seen. I think we first seen them on the retro carded cell shaded Spider-Man, and we've maybe seen them somewhere else after that. And yeah, it looks a bit translucent. Am I right? Like it probably isn't. It's probably just like a greyish black.
Very glossy.
Yeah, it's like a greyish black, I suppose. But do you like this militant look for Spider-Man? Do you remember it from the game? Is it just an extra skin? Is it part of a mission?
I think it's just an extra skin. It's not one that I remember. I mean, it looks nice, so it's like the 2099 version of Miles. But I don't think Miles was ever in 2099, so I think they just designed it for the game.
Yeah, the game definitely has a lot of unique suits that are just in the game. Let me get the side-by-side up for this as well. So that's what it looks like in the game, and it is a little bit more glossier up top. So obviously it's a bit more metallic, techie, and then he's gone down to sort of the more combat style at the bottom. So yeah, another solid representation from the source material to plastic there. So you can't fault them for that. And then a while ago, Rich, someone told me on Instagram that the 6-figure of what wave was it? That maybe someone thought the 6-figure of the retro carded wave was going to be Black Cat, but something was going around with Black Cat being 6, and we were like, "What are you on about?" But it clearly was some truth to it because Black Cat was this 6th reveal on this spider wave. So maybe Entertainment Earth leaked this ages ago and no one realised. But this is Black Cat from the second game. She's in the first game, but off the top of my head, I can't remember if her look or her outfit changes much from game 1 to 2. Can you? Like, is this
it changes a little bit. So in game 1, it's like you find Black Cat packages, and then there's like DLC where you play the Black Cat missions there, and that's when she comes back. I think it is similar to this, but I think like the furry bits are a bit different and stuff like that.
Okay.
I don't mind this look, and I like that head sculpt because I was talking to like David Evan Smith, and like in the X-Men animated show, Storm gets that like the ponytail like in the later seasons. So you could like take that off and put it on Storm. If this goes half price, Dan, I'm in on it. But otherwise, like it's not a figure I need, but it's a nice different look for Black Cat, I suppose. If you're a fan of Black Cat, you could get that and chuck it in your Black Cat shelf because it's not like there's massive amounts of different Black Cat looks out there.
Yeah, in a wave with just literally just variants of Spider-Man, Peter Parker, and Miles Morales, it was nice that they added at least somebody different in from the game, and a female as well. So yeah, Black Cat, popular character. She looks great. Again, another great representation from the source material to a Marvel Legend. A lot of newness on there as well. She's completely pinless, and all that sort of texture on the body, all that line work is sculpted on there. So not a lot of room for reuse there, I assume. So I don't think there is reuse from anything else either. The boots, hopefully she stands up with those bloody heels. We know what females with heels are like. But yeah, she genuinely does look good. What's that artifact she's holding? The Doctor Strange artifact? The
wand of Wutu?
Yeah, I'm not. I can't remember.
They've got it in the bloody MCU as well, haven't they?
Yeah. We've got it in figure form already. We got it with the Doctor Strange with all the extra heads and pieces and stuff. The Wonder Waku, yeah, I can't fucking remember. Wonder Watum. Okay, yeah, I was watching Jay's stream as well, and he kept saying it all the time, so it clearly didn't sink in my brain. But yeah, she looks good. She genuinely does look good.
Jay was the master. He was like the Wonder Watum, Boricua, Miles. He knew them all.
Yeah. Because just watch those cut scenes. That's what it is. I didn't watch any cut scenes, Rich. That's my problem. That was my weakness. So there she is in the packaging. Shout out Solid, did you subscribe? Are you watching live, Solid? Let us know in the chat. Welcome. We are talking these Spider-Man reveals. So there is Black Cat. And again, I did make the comparison for Black Cat. There she is. And again, from the game, she's got that sculpted detail. She's got the white. She's got the fur on the boots and the back of the gloves. A little bit more glossy with the black. And again, I think they've executed that pretty well in plastic as well. Again, I think they've done a good job here, Rich, at like bringing these figures from their, I was about to say animated, but their digital renders, I suppose, of the game, bringing them into plastic. Like, you can't fault them. Like, I know a lot of people are gonna like glance over this wave because it's not for them, but subjectively, I think it's fair to say they look like a great representation of the source material they're supposed to be representing. So you can't fault them for that. So in this wave, Rich, the only one that interests you is Black Cat.
Yeah, but I wouldn't pay full price for it.
Yeah,
I would, like,
Black Cat on a sale.
Happy, yeah, on a sale maybe, but otherwise I'm quite happy like skipping all this. But like, there's people in the chat who like Gamerverse. Best of luck to you.
Yes, so there you go. So there's so obviously we've went through most of them now, but there's one big one that we are missing. There's the back of the packaging, by the way. It's like a select screen from the game, which I like how they've got the actual game images on the back as well. So there you go. It goes up for pre-order on Tuesday, the 2nd of March. Matt Fisher, just with a super chat. Thank you very much, Matt.
Matt Fisher donated $4.99. CNA, we please get an X-Men game so I can buy X-Men game figures. Enjoy the 5 and everybody can start panicking that I donated to James' channel.
Thank you very much, Matt. Don't worry. You're allowed to support the content creators you enjoy. It is allowed. We appreciate you for it. Can we please get an X-Men game so I can buy X-Men game figures? Enjoy the 5, everybody. There is a Logan game coming out made by Insomniac, right? So, yeah. And that's going to have other characters in it as well. Very much in the same way.
Jean Grey's been shown in the gameplay demos and stuff like that.
Yeah, so Matt, I think your wish will be granted very soon. The unfortunate thing is, when did Spider-Man 2 come out, Rich? The actual game?
2023, like fall 2023.
Oh, okay. So these figures are about 2 years since the game release. That's the only unfortunate thing, because maybe the hype of the game has fizzled out by the time these come out, and then you've got to be a certain level of fandom to then get drawn back in. But I understand it's hard for them to release stuff like this because games are so awkward. They don't know if games are going to be successful. Like the Avengers game, for example, they made Avengers figures for that Avengers game ahead of time, but it was a flop. So like no one cared. So like you invest in all of that.
And I think like at the minute the hype with Marvel games tends to be on Marvel Rivals, which I think has been like well received and is getting like lots of updates, lots of new content. Like the Fantastic Four have been added to it at the minute. And I think like if this wave had been a Marvel Rivals wave, that would have been much better received. I think it's kind of like it's missed the border on that like hype train for like general audiences, I think. But I think the watcher said in the chat, like the Spider-Man TV show is like from the 90s and they're still making figures from that. Like people who love this game, I'm sure will go out and find it. It's just a different audience and it's just not for me.
No, I agree. I just sometimes think like with the MCU figures, the hype, if you release stuff at its hype, it gets people excited. So but I understand it's a lot harder for stuff like this. But like you said, that's a fair comment. I'm buying figures that represent something from 30 years ago and I'm still throwing money at it. So I completely think that's a very fair point. If it's going to have its audience, and it always will have its audience. Just again, just the marketer in me thinks releasing when the hype is at its pinnacle. And again, you censored Rivals, and as much as this would hurt my soul, like for the record, I don't want this to happen, and I'm sort of scared to say it out loud because I don't want to put it into the universe. But like I was saying, Gamerverse, like there is a whole new generation now being introduced to Marvel characters via the medium of computer games. Like people are playing Marvel Rivals or Fortnite, God forbid, and being introduced to characters via skins and power. Like, do you know what I mean? Like that is a genuine, like, I'm a grumpy old man, but the reality is there are young people out there playing these games and being introduced to characters and their power sets and what they look like via these games. So if they did if this wave was a whole wave, like you said, Marvel Rivals, or a whole wave of Fortnite skinned Marvel characters, for the record, I don't want that to happen. Please don't do that. But that would be another appealing way to bring in a fresh audience to and introduce them to Marvel Legends, maybe. But I'm glad. I don't mind Spider-Man. I don't mind Spider because it's a Spider-Verse. You can add them even as a comic and an MCU collector. If I've got a Spider-Verse shelf, I can buy all these and just put them in a corner of a Spider-Verse display, and they will not look out of place. They will look fine. They will just look like variant Spider-Man from the Spider-Verse with their own little stories to tell. So I'm not mad at it.
Have you got any corners left in your room, Dan?
Definitely not. This is
or...
literally. I went to get the. So I went to upstairs to get these figures out of a box because my Gamerverse figures are in a box. Real estate is obviously prime. It's basically, I had to make some cuts. So Gamerverse, they're gone. Every Gamerverse figure is in a box. I think I've got all my What If figures in a box, all my AOA figures in a box.
AOA.
I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry. But they're organised. They're organised in boxes with all their accessories. So at any point, it's a display in a box, if you know what I mean. If I have an extra shelf, I've got a display in a box ready to go. So if I brought these right now, if this Spider-Man wave came out right now, the reality is, just for me personally, they're just going to go straight in a box. And that at this stage in my collecting, even though I could review Marvel Legends online, I don't review things for the sake of it. I only review things I'm excited about and I actually want to add to my collection. I always say I'm reviewing my collection as I purchase it. I've always sort of had that rule where I don't really want to spend money on things for a review because my reviews don't even make the money back of the figure I've brought, so that'd be stupid. So yeah, I don't see myself reviewing these figures, if you know what I mean. So if I brought maybe down the line if I see them in person, but right now nothing sort of drags me to them. But there is
if they turned up now, right, next week on 25th, yes, and next week, and they went, they're all in stock now. Is there one you would buy, out of all of these, including the deluxes and including the Spirit Spider? Would there be one you would want more than others?
I don't, like you said earlier, I don't need another Kingpin because I've got Kingpins, so I don't need a black suit of the Kingpin. It would probably be one of the Spider-Man suits. Probably be the Ghost Spider, just because it's a different Spider-Man look. I feel like I can put him on a display right now, and it wouldn't look out of place. It's just an extra Spider-Man character. But this next figure that we haven't got to yet is the big one, the Super Deluxe that they're referring to in it as, and it's a massive 10-inch version of Venom. Now in the game, Venom was much bigger. Even I've seen the trailer, I've seen images. I'm aware that in the actual Spider-Man 2 game, Venom is a bigger character. So you've played the game, Rich. Is that the case? Is it Eddie Brock?
Yeah.
Is that a spoiler? I don't want to ruin it for anybody, but is it Eddie Brock and is he just bigger? What's going on?
It's much bigger than the other ones, and spoilers and stuff. Play the game, but yeah, okay. It is a much bigger character.
Okay, well the figure looks epic. It looks
and it's not Eddie Brock.
Okay, that's fine. I don't think that's a spoiler saying it's not Eddie. It makes me intrigued to see who it is actually. But it's new. This is all new. There's no reuse on this guy because it's so unique of a design. It's a 10-inch massive Venom stylized in the way he was in the game. So it's unique in that sense. And look at all the sculpted texture throughout that body. Maybe a bit of reuse could be used for something else in the future. I don't know right now off the top of my head, but there's no denying it doesn't. It's not accurate to what we see in the game. It looks very good. Dwight even pulled out that little drool effect piece that slides down the tongue, and you can display it without that drool effect, just like you can see there. So again, my mind's eye of Venom is always the open mouth, the big tongue. I think most of my Venoms on my display have the tongue sticking out. He comes with a big massive effect piece as well, which you can actually hold up a figure with, which I thought was pretty interesting. Like that's that picture, you've got a figure tangled up in it, and I think they even pose it that way. There's the second head, by the way. I like it. Reminds me of like the McFarlane Venom. Do you know, where it's just got the big cheesy grin from the 90s? So I like that you've got the options there. So you get your drool, your 2 heads, and then the extra effect piece and some extra hands. Matt Fisher says, I missed the opening. Is there a bath? No bath, and we will come back to that as a discussion point, absolutely. But yeah, no bath in this wave. So there's that effect piece again. Did they show? They swear there it is. I knew they showed him off. So there's Venom holding the figure up, and it looks imposing. He looks big. He looks massive. He's going to stand out. He would actually absolutely be the centerpiece of your Gamerverse shelf. Rich, subjectively looking at Venom, you've played the game. Does he look like the game? Does he look like an accurate representation of Venom from the game? And does that translate well to this Marvel Legends action figure?
He does look like the Venom for the game, but I think like someone just put the Watchers put in the chat about, are we getting a winged version of Venom too? So he kind of like evolves as the game goes on.
Okay.
So he's kind of like has got another look as well that they could have done, I think, quite easily with the pieces they've got. But yeah, it looks all right. He looks quite, I don't know, like too like the proportions seem off to me. Like,
okay.
Like in the game, he was quite like monstrous, but like I think that like maybe the bottom half is a bit too thin. Like from the calves down. Like, do you get me?
Yeah, no, I see what you're saying.
Calves look really small.
It's like you skip leg day type vibe.
Well, his thighs are thick, but it's like it looks like his leg would break like that. But then there you go. But yeah, it looks for what it is. It looks nice, and I think again with Venom being a symbiote, like he can change like his proportions and his look. So I think you could kind of like fudge this into some kind of comic display as well. I don't think it's like that bad, and I like the effect. Like the drool effect is quite good. It'll go well with your spider sperm. You can get that shoot in a drool mouth.
Now
Venom,
we've got spider sperm and Venom drool within the same calendar year. Crazy. Yeah, I to your point of this could be a comic Venom as well. Absolutely, Venom is drawn so different on depending on the artist, and every version of Venom's different, and he's powered up all the time and then he's powered back down again. This could absolutely just be a massive Venom on a comic shelf, and nobody would look at that and go, that looks weird. People would look at that and go, well, that's Venom. Do you know, like, so yeah, absolutely fair game for a comic version, for sure. Yeah, it looks good. And again, they kept referring to it as Super Deluxe. So, and they mentioned Odin and Hulkbuster in regards to the Super Deluxe format. So I probably think it'll be around about that price point. So whatever the price point of Odin and Hulkbuster was, it will probably be around about that, which I think for us in the UK was like £65, right?
Yeah, it was about. Was it about $70? Was it?
Yeah,
$70?
close to 70, but yeah, probably about 65 to 70, depending on where you're getting it from. So I'm just saying, expect that. They don't ever announce the price of these. You find out when it goes up for pre-order, as we have learnt. But I don't think this one's going to cause too much debate like the Maximum Spider-Man did, because.
Oh, Dad, you're so naive, Dad.
Oh, is it? Are we going to have videos on this as well? Breaking this down. Look, it's a deluxe Marvel. You can't dispute it's not deluxe. It's a 10-inch Venom with some interchangeable parts and pieces. It goes up for pre-order a couple of days after the main wave, I believe. Oh no, the dates are wrong, ain't they? Because the Americans do month and then the day, which is weird. It's day then month, but whatever, Americans. So yeah, the 27th of the 2nd. That meant I got the date wrong of the other one as well.
No, so one goes up next Tuesday and one goes up next Thursday. I think the wave goes up on Tuesday and then the deluxes go up.
Stupid Americans.
Well, this deluxe goes up on Thursday. And then Kingpin and Spirit Spider go up at to be determined dates.
Yeah, dates in March.
Sailors.
Yeah, in March. Yeah. And it does make more sense to do the day, then month, then the year. Day, month, year. Day, month, year. Okay, Americans? Just note that. Thank you. Right. So there you go. So yeah, there you go. 25 there. And then 27 there. Okay, there you go. Sorted. So they will both be up for pre-order before Toy Fair. So I have no doubts that these will be in hand at Toy Fair if anybody is going to check out the Legends. Again, Ryan did mention an influencer sort of community day to get an opportunity. Rich, are you going to be attending Toy Fair to check these out in person and a few more surprises?
I haven't had my invite. Like all of Hasbro's events, I don't seem to get invited. I don't know why, Dan, but there you go. I think it lost in the post. They must be sending it to another rich
I will attend if in my invitation are also plane tickets, but otherwise I'll be sat here reacting to other people's images, which I very much appreciate. But there you go. So there's everything. So there is your Gamerverse. So that's everything Gamerverse related. So again, 9 reveals, which is pretty solid for a random a Thursday live stream to reveal 9, a full wave, 2 deluxes and an exclusive. Like if this was a comic or an MCU sort of set of reveals, people wouldn't be mad at that. But what people are starting to question now, Rich, is the fact that this wave...
There's no little comic book, is it, Dan? There's no comic book with them. Where's my mini comic?
Yeah, Rich... yeah, where's the mini comic? No, okay, yeah. Okay, so, mini comics, people started to panic a little bit. Uh-oh. People were worried when they started doing more retro cards and less Build-A-Figure waves. Were they leaning more into retro cards or new card backs or whatever it be? And we're like, calm down. No, they're still doing Build-A-Figures, and they managed to sneak out a couple of Build-A-Figures within the year. Not many, but a couple. But then at the start of the year, they've went, no, don't worry about Build-A-Figure, but you got mini comics now. And like we even got our hands on recently when we went to In-Demand Toys. Again, it's a gimmick. It's not for me, but it's a gimmick. I understand it. It would have been better if it was a digital code and you could actually read the comic it was trying to... Do you know what I mean? There was definitely a better way to do that, but for whatever reason, it is not that way. And now we're getting a full wave of figures, not on a card back, not with mini comics, and not with a Build-A-Figure piece. Are we looking at the future of Marvel Legends here, Rich? Or are we just panicking too soon? What's going on? Mikey Moonboots again. Thank you, Mikey. We won't let him
Mikey
type.
Moonboots donated £4.99.
We appreciate it, Mikey. Just write what you're saying underneath, Mikey. We appreciate the super chats. He says, no Build-A-Figure bastards. That was worth the £1. That was worth the £5. We appreciate you, Mikey Moonboots. I appreciate it. I'm going to click a like on that. Thank you very much. And we are free on our goal as well, by the way, people. So 2 more super chats and that bonus show will be public. And do you want to hear the thoughts of the community this evening? Then let's get 2 more super chats before the stream is over, and we will get an extra stream tonight. So yes, Rich.
Can't wait.
Yeah,
Can't wait
Rich wants to hear everybody's thoughts. Rich, you can take a nap during that if you want. Anyway, back to our point about Build-A-Figures. I was throwing it over to you, Rich. What are your thoughts with this wave having no Build-A-Figure pieces?
Well, when on the leaked list, this was a Build-A-Figure wave. Like all the leaked lists out there had this as a Build-A-Figure. It wasn't quite this. I think like it was Anti-Venom wasn't in there, but was listed as like a separate figure. I think people thought there was going to be like an Anti-Venom, maybe version of like Agent Venom or something like that. So the fact that this is in the wave, that fits that. But there was no Build-A-Figure. And then I don't think the Kingpin figure leaked anyway. Like Venom did. And the Ghost Spider was originally like listed as part of this wave, I think, when it was like a 7-figure Build-A-Figure wave. But the weird thing I find is that Kingpin, so if it uses Mr. Fix-It, like the Mr. Fix-It and Kingpin have both been Build-A-Figure wave like pieces before. So I don't get why this couldn't have been a Build-A-Figure in that wave. Like if you'd put Ghost Spider in that wave, make it a 7-figure wave, and then you could have like split those bits up. So like again, we're gonna be paying like I'm guessing this is gonna be a $25 a figure wave, but with no Build-A-Figure pieces.
Yeah,
so, I don't know. I know there's some people are gonna be like, oh, I just wanted Kingpin, so I'm happy I can just pay for that and not have to bother with the rest of them. So you know, you can't please everyone, but yeah, it's a shame that it's a nut. So again, we've only had one Build-A-Figure wave revealed this year.
Yeah, the Nemesis.
So far?
Yeah. The Nemesis Build-A-Figure so far is the only one for the calendar year 2025 so far. Last year we got 2 Build-A-Figures, maybe I say 3 if you count Void, but I know people don't like counting that. So I still think we will get more Build-A-Figure waves. I just think they're continually doing different formats. But like you said, there's definitely interesting points. And again, we're not taking either side on this argument. We're just talking about why they do these things. Like you said, some people love the Build-A-Figure format because they're usually all in on Legends anyway. Like, if you're all in on the majority of Legends, then the Build-A-Figure format's great for you because you're like, sound, I'm going to end up getting the figure I want anyway because I'm already in on these other figures. But like you said, if you look at this wave and you're not interested in the variants of Miles and Peter, but then Kingpin was the Build-A-Figure and you want Kingpin in the black suit, then instead of spending the £40-50 for Kingpin, you'd end up spending nearly triple that just to get the figure you want, and then you're left with the hassle of trying to get rid of the figures you don't want. So there's pros and cons of Build-A-Figure and no Build-A-Figure. And I'm not saying I'm on either end of the spectrum because, again, I see both sides to it. I definitely appreciate the inclusion of a Build-A-Figure, and it definitely helps with my perception of value when buying a Legend. But then if you're not going to give us a Build-A-Figure piece, then my perception of value is that these figures should be a little bit cheaper. So if a regular Build-A-Figure wave, Marvel Legend right now, whether we like it or not, the reality is a Build-A-Figure right now is about $24.99. I'm talking from the perspective of pounds. It might be the same in US with dollars, but just as a UK collector, a normal Marvel Legend Build-A-Figure wave right now is about $24.99 per figure. So if I buy the whole wave, at the end of that, I can build Nemesis, for example, and I feel like I got a little bit more for my money by indulging in the whole wave. Where if these figures come out and they are still $24.99, but they've got no Build-A-Figure piece, like you said, we joke, but there's no extra comic or any little gimmick like that, but it's still the same price, then that's when my perception of value is like, hang on a minute, I feel like, as a consumer, I feel like I'm getting less, but paying the same. And it's like, it's sort of their own fault because they've made us, it's the Legends way to get a Build-A-Figure. So it's hard to fiend us off it. Do you know, it's an awkward, do you know what I'm trying to say though, right? With the perception of value, it feels like if you're going to take something away, then take something away from the cost as well. Where I feel like these are just going to be regular priced, but yeah, no gimmick, no Build-A-Figure piece. I don't know. Is it because of the sculpts?
Well, it's not like MCU, is it? It's not like there's likeness rights for actors and stuff like that. And there's, again, with this, like with the retro cards, like I think the last couple of waves, if there's been like 6 figures, 3 of them have come with like extra heads.
Yeah.
Like on this one, only one
extra head. Yeah, the Anti-Venom.
And for the other ones, a lot of it is reuse as well. Like the Miles are just straight up reprints of like heads they've already got. So you could have put something extra. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Or maybe just grip in hand so they could hold their webs, like type of thing.
Yeah, for the record, there are new sculpted details within these figures for sure. Yes, there's a bit of reuse, like always. That's standard for just toy making in general. If it makes sense for the figure, then I don't mind it. And on that repaint of Miles, it's fine. It's a repainted version of this suit anyway. It's fair game. But if a figure requires new tooling to make it accurate to the source material they're trying to represent, then absolutely they need to do that. And I feel like this wave has a mix of new tooling and reuse. And so I'm not mad about that. It's just, as a consumer and a Legends fan, my perception of value is like, well, it's not got no Build-A-Figure. It's not packed with extra accessories. At least it doesn't seem that way to me. But if it's the same price of all the other Legends, and I'm like, ouch. It just, ouch. Like, this wave doesn't bother me too much because I'm not interested in this wave anyway.
Yeah.
But that's just my perspective. But if you are interested in this wave and you're going to pay the same as a regular Build-A-Figure wave and it's no piece or anything, I don't know. It's just, they're constantly confusing the consumer is all I'm saying. And that's what causes so much friction within the community, as because I think the bottom line is people want to love Legends. Like, we all love Marvel. Do you know what I mean? It's not about the company that makes them. I know people have their disputes with the company that makes them, and that's fair enough. You can think what you like, but I love Marvel. That's what I love. And I want an accurate, great representation of the Marvel universe in plastic on my shelf. But I also want to be able to indulge in that without feeling like I'm getting ripped off or whatever. And I don't know. It's just when they're constantly moving the goalposts, it causes that friction within the community of just, and because they can't be transparent about prices and all of that, we're never going to know. So it'd be nice if they could just get in front of it and explain to us this type of stuff, but we know they're not allowed either. So instead, that just causes people on YouTube stirring the pot even more, including us. We chat about it too. But the reality is we don't know. was this a creative choice to not include a Build-A-Figure because they're trying to encourage new collectors on, and new collectors aren't necessarily like embedded with the Build-A-Figure format? Do you know what I mean? Like, do you know, like a...
Or will this be like the Spider-Verse, like Cyborg Spider-Woman, and when that Kingpin comes out the packaging, all his limbs just separate off? Like,
I never brought that Cyborg Spider-Man for the record because she had such a big role in the movie.
Very much the Rintra of the Spider-Verse.
I literally watched that film and went, "What was that? Where was that character?" Like, I had to pause it somewhere. But yeah, like again, me and Rich do not feel strongly on either end. By the way, we're just we're talking amongst friends here. But yeah, it's just an interesting point. An interesting observation is all I'm saying. Is that like there is no Build-A-Figure here, and it's probably going to be the same price as a regular wave. So it's just that perception of value. It's just, you can understand why it's a hard pill to swallow for the community when we've been so used to something for so long. But there are pros to no Build-A-Figure as well, because then you ain't suckered into buying things you don't want to get the figure you want, and it gives you more options as a collector overall. So again, I do see both sides of that argument. And I understand people will fall on either end depending on their own collecting preferences, and everyone will have different collecting preferences. So, like Rich said earlier, they're never going to please everybody.
You're like a walking massive disclaimer at the back of the box tonight, Dan.
I know, because I'm trying to like be as fair as I can, because I sometimes I feel like people ignore because I feel like sometimes we're just idiots for the sake of, because we try and, this show is like, I don't want to be a boring just show that just reads off the news. I try and make it fun and have a few jokes and whatever. And I think sometimes people take our sarcastic humor a little bit too far and feel like they know what we think. And I'm just trying to say, like, this ain't for me and Rich, but it doesn't mean we hate it and we're like down with Hasbro. This ain't for us, and that's okay. This is for someone else, and we want this. We are very happy for the people that want these. We understand there's a whole audience out there for these games, and now they have an option to add some of these figures to the collection, and they look great for what they're meant to represent. And I always say, on my shelf, I want the most accurate representations of the source material that I love. That's why I love that animated chameleon, because that was my mind's eye of chameleon. I wanted a chameleon on my shelf how I imagine it. So people playing this game are going to want these designs in the way they played the game, and they do a good job of that for sure. But the game, like Rich, has so many costumes. I got up IGN here, and I sort of said,
let's not get a wave 2.
No. I just
Do you know what, Dan? I really indulge you with this topic now, but I'm kind of over it. Can we go on to the X-Men figures that I want to talk about? Can we please?
Yeah, okay,
Thank you very much. I don't want to go through 96.
No, we're not going to go through it. We're not going to go. I just wanted to make a point. Like, I said this to you before we started the stream. Like, I felt like that this Marvel stream didn't need to be a Marvel stream, and it could have been an IGN post.
Could have been an email, Dan.
Yeah,
could have been an email.
Because the IGN community are the gaming community. So, like, if anyone's interested in this stuff, it's going to be people that are fans of the game. So I just felt like today's reveals might have been better suited to one of those, like, IGN reveals, and then we wouldn't get worked up and excited about a live stream that had nothing for us. That's all. I'm just saying, maybe it could have been an IGN thing and keep the live, because again, I don't know. Let's get into the good stuff there. Let's get into, I say good stuff. let's see what we think. Right, so they saved one.
Yeah, just everyone in the chat, the Watcher, Kev Collectibles, who want to see a wave 2. Jay's toy collections will be filled in for me in a couple of weeks' time, and him and Dan can go through the wave 2 of the Spider-Verse to their heart's content. Can't wait for that stream.
I've never played the Miles game or the Spider-Man 2 game, so all I could say is if I liked the design or not, but I wouldn't know the relevance of the costume design to the game. And I think context is king. Like, certain costumes you may like more because it's part of a particular story element of the game. So I would be unsuited to discuss that topic also.
So the majority of these are just alternate skins of that wave,
okay,
apart from like Black Cat and like the Anti-Venom, but it's not that version. Like, they're not story points. They are just alternate skins for your character.
So sometimes in the game, you're like driven to wear a different costume for a particular mission or something like that. That's what I was thinking. So, but yeah, without me playing the game, I have no context. But I understand that these games have tons. Like, Rich was joking, but he's not either, because there are like 90 odd pages of different skins here. So yeah, I won't indulge him with that. But let's get back to the reveal. So yes, they saved one comic reveal until the very end, and it was a 2-pack that, again, I think David Display's model behavior is at home with his bingo card. He's punched Rectangular in the face, knocked him out. Rectangular's tied up in his basement, and now David Display's model behavior is playing bingo, and he's got his big bingo pen, and he's just knocking stuff out, shouting bingo at home. And Rectangular's just in the basement going, "Oh, you bastard! This used to be my gimmick." So yeah, but this was another one on the room. Shout out Todd. I love Todd, by the way. But where's your source, Todd? What's happened? But this is another leaked 2-pack that ended up being true. And we'll go through on both, and then I'll throw it to Rich. But it is Warpath in his Night Force gear.
Night Force? You like Ryan
Night Force? Oh, for God's sake. X-Force. He's joined G.I. Joe, and he's now part of the Night Force crew. And he's been on a mission. No, it's X-Force, obviously. Ignore me. X-Force. With his 2 daggers. Remember when he never came with daggers and people kicked off? Well, now he comes with his daggers. And also pins, but I'll talk about that in a moment. And then we also get Laura X-23 with some new head sculpts as well in the X-Force gear, which we do already have an X-Force version of Laura, but these head sculpts are new. They are different. The one we have on our shelves already doesn't have the expressive face with the mask. So now you technically have 3 different expressions for Laura if you have the previous one, but this one is an upgrade because it's pinless and it's double jointed elbows for a female. I don't think that previous one did, so this is absolutely an upgrade for your X-23 Laura. And that head sculpt does look pretty good. Like, look at that, looks very nice. Same with the unmasked one as well. Like, they do a great job with the digital face printing tech these days, no disputing that at all. So there is Laura X-23 with her 2 head sculpts. She comes with 3 sets of hands as well, the claws, and then 2 sets of retracted hands, completely pinless, double jointed knees and elbows, a bicep swivel at the top. Females do lack that diaphragm crunch, which is a bit frustrating, but she still aesthetically looks very pleasing. Warpath.
They could have done that. Like, that's the only thing with Laura is they could have done the full-on, the Black Widow is ab crunch thing.
Agreed.
That's what I wish they'd put on her.
Agreed.
I think that's the bit that was missing. Otherwise, I mean, it's an upgrade on the earlier one, but that's the bit I think they could have tried, especially because Laura is an agile character.
Yes,
so.
Butterfly joints and the crunch at the waist would absolutely have benefited a character like Laura. I always say that. Like, I understand sometimes not using certain body molds depending on the character, but a character like Laura would have absolutely benefited from butterfly joints and the crunch in the waist. But aesthetically, standing on your shelf, she's going to look great. Warpath comes with his 2 daggers. The last Warpath we got never came with any daggers, and people kicked off about it. So now you get your 2 daggers, you get your gripping hands, and you get your fisted hands on the box as well. But Warpath, unfortunately, doesn't utilize the newness of Marvel Legends, and we're let me go back to Warpath to discuss this. So before we talk about that, Rich, let me just go to the 2-pack image. Give us your thoughts on this 2-pack. So again, you're a big X-Men fan. I assume you're a Night Force fan. Night Force. I did it again, Rich, for fuck's sake.
Come on, Ryan Ting. Come on.
X-Force.
Get your script together. Get your script together.
Come on, Dan.
So yeah,
Come on, Dan.
This version of X-Force. So a lot of people are like,
2008, right?
X-Force. It's not Uncanny X-Force.
Okay.
So this is the X-Force. This is the Chris Yost and Craig Kyle run. So this is like around Messiah Complex. You got Necrosha in there, all the big crossovers. So this is when like Wolverine gets his own Black Ops team. He's got Warpath and X-23 and Wolfsbane are in the initial lineup, and then other members join. So he gets like Elixir is in there. Who else is in there? Is it Vanisher? The Vanisher joins the team as well. I think Domino is in that team as well. So it's different to the Uncanny X-Force, which is like Archangel, Psylocke, Phantom X. It's like a lot of people get them mixed up and cross them over together. So these are both figures we've had before. We've had Laura from Hasbro, and I think we've had Warpath from Hasbro, wasn't it? It was like a 2-pack, was it?
Yeah, so I've see again, I'm a professional, so I have all these images at the ready. So shout out Rob Pollock.
Shout out Rob Pollock.
Yeah, shout out Rob Pollock who sent me this image over. So this is basically the versions of this this X-Force.
X-Force.
Fuck it, what the fuck is wrong with me? I know it's X-Force as well, but I keep saying not Force. Wolverine, Domino, Warpath, and Laura. So these are the versions we currently have on your display. So I guess as a collector, you now have to decide, are these an upgrade to the ones we already have? And like Rich says, the last time we got Warpath was back in the dark days of Hasbro, and it was this 2-pack with that red Deadpool, which was very sought after. That Deadpool used to go for crazy money, by the way, like crazy money. Shout out Home Bargains. But yeah, I got a lot of those Deadpools back in the day for like £5 a pop. And may have been on eBay for a lot more than that. But that was the last time we got Warpath in this look, was way back when, like early Hasbro days. And then Laura we got in the Sasquatch Build-A-Figure wave, and she came with no accessories apart from that giant torso for Sasquatch. Is it Sasquatch? Yeah, it is Sasquatch. But yeah, she came with 0 accessories. So yeah, these 2 characters in these looks have been released before in Marvel Legends, but I would say that these are upgrades, but how big of upgrades are they? That is up for you to debate. Laura, absolutely an upgrade compared to the old one, as you can see from Rob Pollock's picture. Single jointed elbows, pins in the knees, and just a bit, you know, like she's got the jelly leg syndrome with the females. The face sculpt's not using the digital face printing tech, so it was okay for the time, but I don't think it's a comparison to compare to what we can get now. So I think X-23, new accessories, interchangeable heads, pinless, she's absolutely an upgrade. Warpath, on the other hand, Rich, he's on an upgraded body. He's on the Omega Red, yeah. So we have, same as the Venom we got last year, the 85th anniversary Venom, with the deep butterfly joints, bigger, muscular body, which makes sense for Warpath. However, if I go back to some pictures of Warpath on the shelf here, he's on an old pinned body. He's got pins in the knees and elbows. Now, I know some collectors are not bothered by that. We've been collecting for 23 years, and for the majority of that time, our action figures had pins. Not a problem. I understand. However, times are moving on, and Legends as a toy line is evolving, and we are now in a progress of getting upgraded pieces and parts, and we are changing the aesthetic of Marvel Legends for the better. So Legends as a brand are now introducing us to these newer pieces that look better, that perform better. I always feel that the plastic's stronger. You can get them into better poses, not as much jelliness and stuff. Like, I genuinely think the pinless tech has more benefits than just it being pinless. I do think the plastic's better and all of that. So I think aesthetically, Legends are moving in a certain direction. And this 2-pack is a bit of a mix, because it's got one upgraded figure with Laura, X-23. And then I feel like we've got a figure that we probably could have got the exact same one 6-7 years ago. What do you think, Rich?
Yeah, I don't think Warpath is not enough of an upgrade. I mean, it is better than the old one, but there's better out there again. So it just seems like a waste putting it on that body. And equally, like Rob Pollock said in the chat, like these 2 we've got before as well. Like if you wanted to put one of these, why not put like an Elixir with them, or a Vanisher, or Wolfspin, like characters that we haven't had in these X-Force looks? Because at least you could like finish that team off. Like, it's great upgrading these 2, but we've still got like a 4-member team with Domino and Wolverine in there as well. Like, you still need the other members. And yeah, I was just laughing in the chat. Wilma V said the price is evolving faster this season. Yeah, this is probably going to cost a lot more than the original Warpath 2-pack cost as well, with Deadpool in there. So
in the Legend of the Liquor Instagram chat we've got, which you can become a member of if you're a channel member, by the way, Tom, Mini Plastic Multiverse, said something that I think hit the nail on the head. He said, you buy this figure, you put it on your shelf, and it instantly needs an upgrade. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, that's the perception now of our Marvel Legends. It's like, we're looking at the shelf thinking, what figures need an upgrade? And I don't want to be buying a figure in 2025, putting it on the shelf, and it already looking like it needs an upgrade. Do you know, like, and that's Legends' fault for sort of pushing us in this direction. It's like, I don't know, it just feels like, I don't know, if this was pinless and it had the better tech, we wouldn't be at the other thing. We'd be going, great, upgrades of 2 characters in their X-Force costumes, happy days. But now instead, we're nitpicking and going, I don't want to buy a figure that instantly needs an upgrade. Like, it's just frustrating. So yeah, shout out Mini Plastic Multiverse, because I think that sort of phrase hit it on the head. Like, you buy this figure and then it instantly needs an upgrade, and it's like, so close, but yet you missed the mark. Because I'm assuming Laura's not easy to get on the aftermarket either. She's definitely one of those figures that's a little bit harder to track down. And yeah, just a little bit frustrating. A little bit frustrating. 'Cause it looks like a great 2-pack. It genuinely does look like a nice 2-pack. But then they missed the mark a little bit for me. That's all. At least it has more accessories than Destiny and Rogue. Do you know what I mean?
It has accessories. That's
I'm trying to find the positives here, Rich. All right, work with me. All right, it's got accessories, people. But yeah, you agree with all those points as well, right?
Yeah, I just hope that they finish this era of the team out, because I think Ryan was getting confused in the chat. I think that what has been leaked so far is going to be the Uncanny X-Force Archangel is going to be coming out there, not finishing off this team. So again, we're going to have like 2 eras of Black Ops X-Force on the go again.
And Rob sent me this second picture as well to prove that point. The Nightcrawler there, he's told me he's a custom, but we all know we're getting the Nightcrawler in the Nemesis wave like any time now. Some people have even got it in hand, so we know we're getting that version of Nightcrawler. So basically this is on the table, everything we've currently got. That's the Epic Heroes version of Archangel, but since then we have had a re-release. No, that was the we got one in
they
the
did an SDC exclusive X-Force pack with a different Psylocke as well. That's the Psylocke from the Phantom X.
So that's so Archangel, Phantom X, Psylocke. Every Marvel Legends Psylocke needs an upgrade. Every single one. Psylocke is absolutely worthy of the newer female articulation scheme, pinless joints. We have not got a Psylocke in our collection that has double jointed elbows, apart from the Uncanny one. I know someone's going to throw that at me. The Uncanny one does have double jointed elbows, but you know what I mean. We haven't got like a one of Psylocke's more iconic looks in the better articulation scheme. Uncanny Deadpool. We've got I think it was the 80th anniversary Marvel Legend line. We got the repaint of Deathlock with the grey, because we also got the regular Deathlock as well. So yeah, this is the team I think Hasbro are going to complete, right? By upgrading.
But this is more or less like complete.
That's what I'm saying. They're just
if
upgrading.
You've got that Archangel, the SDCC one, it's kind of done. I suppose you could put like Eva, and you could put Cluster in there if you're going to be like it was like a clone Phantom X. He split into 2 right at the end, and you put Evan, the like kid Apocalypse as well. But otherwise, this team I think is pretty much done. But I think from the leak list, Archangel is going to be out there, isn't he? So
yeah, Ryan. If you listen to the stream as well, Ryan did sort of tease there may be more, which means there will be more. So yeah, I reckon the Archangel leak is basically that leak list so far. As I said, it's been pretty bang on. So there's no reason not to believe Archangel is not sometime in the future. They may even show him at Toy Fair next weekend. You know, it may be as simple as that, to accompany this 2-pack, and then they could display all these new figures on the shelf at Toy Fair at the Javits Center. So yeah, they're the 2 previous versions, and now we have the new release. But is it that much of an upgrade? That is for you to decide, but it is very frustrating. Again, like I've got I've got an emoji with no pins. So if you're a channel member and you agree with me, please use that emoji right now. We're in a no pin era. We're 2025 Marvel Legends. We're moving into a new aesthetic. Let's keep it no pinless. We want a no pin zone for our Marvel Legends shelves. All right. So yeah, I am a pin snob. I didn't think I was going to be rich, but my name's Dan. And I'm a pin snob. I can't help it. Like, they just look better without pins. Now we've seen them without pins. We know they look better without pins. We know the action figure functions better without pins. We need to continue the pinless era. And the chat agree with me. Craig Nostalgia Collection, Mikey Moonboots, Michael Davis, thank you very much for your no pin support. We will be getting our pickets and going. We're going to be marching outside the Javits Center at New York Toy Fair. No pins. No pins. But, Rich, any final thoughts on this before we get to our final tease?
No, just that I mean, I will be getting this set. I wish it was more upgraded than it was, but I think the Laura looks good. I think the scale looks better as well. It looks like she looks a bit smaller than the Laura we've had before. So yeah, I'm definitely in it for this. I wish Warpath was upgraded more. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna get this one. Out of everything shown today, this would be the only one that I'm gonna pre-order.
I'm the same as Rich. As much as I've criticised and picked the things that I don't like, I do not have this version of Warpath from the old days of Hasbro. So I don't have a version of Warpath in this outfit at all. So for me, I'd rather have a representation than no representation. So I am going to pick this up, but I can still be a little bit disappointed it is not the pinless version. But for me, you know me, collecting's about world building, completing teams. So this gets me a step closer to completing that team for sure. But it would have been nice if it had those upgrades we're now getting used to. So there. But there was one more tease, Rich. One more. I like that they end these streams with a tease because it gets the community talking. Rockets. So Dwight pulled out a rocket from his pocket. He put it on the table.
So much innuendo tonight.
And yeah, there's a rocket. So it's obviously a rocket. It's a rocket. Like, there's no. It's not like what is it? It's like it's a fucking rocket, people. All right. But what Marvel Legend is this associated with? Now I've seen a few people say. I think Cloud in one of the Legends groups and a few people in the chat have said the Hulk, the Maximum Series Hulk, that is heavily rumored.
How much would that one be, Dan? Let's discuss that.
There's going to be YouTube videos breaking that down. Don't you worry about that. Not from me, but from other places, I'm sure. But anyway, that's not been announced yet.
It should be $1 and no more. I said it first, right? I said it first.
Yeah. So yeah, that's just one guess. But chat, join in, please. Join in and we'll read a couple out. What is this rocket associated with? What Marvel Legend is going to be released in the near future that has this rocket as an accessory? Let me hear your suggestions in the chat. But Rich is going to tell us the answer. Rich, what is it?
Honestly, I don't know. I think that could be a guess for Hulk. I think that could be a good one. I went and looked because obviously there's a Marvel versus Capcom wave coming out, and in that, like, War Machine's got like a War Destroyer special where he like releases all these missiles. So I went on YouTube and like freeze framed that just to see, but none of the rockets match up to this one. That's where I was going with it.
We already have Capcom War Machine. We've got him.
So, but when he does his like his War Destroyer thing, he's got all this like big mech armor comes down,
Yeah, I see what I mean.
And then he fires these like massive rockets off. So I thought that was like something that they could do. Like, there's loads of characters it could be with rockets and things like that.
Damien says a bomb or Doc Samson, please, and thanks. There you go. Doc Samson is a character we need in Legends. We have had him in the Hulk wave, in the old Fin Fan Foom wave, I think. I could be wrong, but I think. Greg Finstad says civilian Tony Stark. He needs it for making his armor in a cave.
Could be.
No, he just needs a box of scraps.
Big, though, doesn't it? It seems too big to be like firing out of a gun or something.
That's why Hulk could hold it and throw it back at someone.
Yeah, or it could be like an accessory for like Fantastic Four movie figures or something.
Yeah,
they don't tend to be the MCU like, do they?
You just think of any of the teases we've had in recent time. Have any of them ever been associated with MCU stuff? I don't think so. I could be wrong. I can't remember everyone off the top of my head, but nothing jumps to mind or springs to mind with these teases. I think they are genuinely associated with comic figures. I think he's meant an A-bomb, not a bomb, says Dante. Oh, A-bomb the character.
The big blue.
Yes. Sorry, Damien. Yes, he did. He did mean A-bomb, the character, not just A-bomb. Yes. Pixels and Plastic says mini missile for Doctor Doom, or Omni missile for Doctor Doom. Oh, Ned's backpack was a tease once. That is true, Rob Pollock. That is absolutely true. They did tease that backpack that ended up being a backpack for Ned and Peter Parker.
Google Marvel Omni Missile. That's what Cute Cult says.
Okay,
that's what Hasbro usually do.
Absolutely will. And we'll probably find it with the first image. Okay, so this is the image I've got for the Omni Missile. So is that associated with Doom?
That's got that ring round it, though, hasn't it? It's not the same.
Yeah, I don't think it is the same. Can I bounce back to the image?
No, it's not that.
It's got some sculpted circles around it, but not to the extent of that. But
that's only got like one like flight bits on it. That's got like one at the top and one in the middle. So
yeah. Okay. Is that associated with Doom? Is that what people are saying? Let me have a read at the Marvel database for... The Omni Missile was a 4-piece weapon system, missile, loader, payload, launcher and control system developed by Dr. Von Doom. The possible payloads included high explosive, knockout gas, shrapnel, smoke or tear gas with different strength. They could attack air and ground-based enemies, and a given missile was never bigger than 10 foot in length, though some were smaller. So there you go. It's a Doctor Doom missile. You've all learned something today about Omni missiles. But is this an Omni missile? I don't know. I think the best guess so far is just the ultimate. If we're going to get a maximum Hulk, again, Hulk could hold it to throw it. Like, that's, but I don't know. Someone said General Thunderbolt Ross. I don't think we're getting any tanks anytime soon in the Marvel Legends line. I think it's Blade, said Sim. Mikey Moonboots, I appreciate that. Again,
Mikey Moonboots donated £4.99.
Donates and says not a word. Mikey Moonboots, I appreciate your contributions this evening. Your generosity this evening is appreciated. Thank you so much. But what did you say, my friend? What did you say? Let me read it out loud for you. We haven't gotten a red Ronin figure yet, says Scotty. It kind of does have the circle on it. It could be Doom. New comic Red Hulk, says Craig. Now, usually when Legends re-release a figure of the past, it means it's because they don't have plans to currently release that figure again. And they did re-release the Red Hulk last year. Remember, the movie got delayed, so the timing didn't feel right. But they absolutely did re-release that comic Red Hulk, which would make me assume there is no new comic Red Hulk on the horizon, just based off previous buying habits. Mikey Moonboot says, off topic, but I hope the X-Force Archangel are the same style as the new Marvel Select one. RIP Marvel Select. I don't know if they're still a thing anymore. We don't know what's going on with Diamond. Apparently someone's buying them out.
They still going at the minute. They haven't like closed or stopped revealing stuff anyway. So
Angel Diamond Select. Let's have a look what he's referring to. Is that even came out yet? I don't think it's came out yet. That's why I said RIP, because I don't know if we're ever going to see this. Tell me if I'm wrong. Is this is what you're referring to, right, Mikey? Oh, thanks for that. I'm not going to subscribe, no. This? Is this what you're referring to, Mikey? The wings, I mean? So this is a pre-order for Diamond Select. Will be out of scale for Marvel Legends, but if you have him on a flight stand or flying above your collection, maybe you could play with the perception and get him to work, but it will be a little bit out of scale. Yeah, so people are saying, yeah. So remember, there is that tease that people think was associated with the Archangel that had the throwing effect piece. We haven't yet had that. Super Turk says, I'm worried about my Marvel Select Annihilus pre-order based on the news. Yes, I would have also brought that Marvel Select Annihilus. If it comes out, I still will buy it, but I didn't have a pre-order for that. So, yeah. So, I guess we'll find out. Are they teasing this because they're going to reveal it next week at I keep saying San Diego, but at New York Comic Con? Maybe. But we've got two teasers now, right, Rich? We've got the dumbbells, and we've got a rocket.
Yeah.
Dumbbells and a rocket. So, there's a few Marvel Legend threads out there that still need to be pulled. But yeah, dumbbells and a rocket. Maybe they could be accessories to the same figure. Maybe. Probably not. But they could be. Could that missile be for X-Men 97 Bastion? Says Rob Pollock. I would assume we're going to get a Bastion this year, considering he was a big bad of the first season. Maybe. Maybe. But yeah, that is your lot, people. That is your lot. So yeah, a very Spider-Verse heavy stream with the added 2-pack of Warpath and Laura. So, yeah, Rich.
Money in the bank.
Mikey Moonboots, once again, thank you very much. Too generous.
Mikey Moonboots donated
Look, now he's the top
£4.99.
supporter. He just wanted his name up there. Mikey Moonboots, I appreciate you. You are now the top supporter of the month because of your generosity this evening. Thank you very much, my friend. My channel appreciates you. The lights will be kept on in the Dan Who household for another night. I appreciate that.
Yay.
Rich is not happy about it because it now means the bonus show. We have hit our goal.
Oh, hooray. Can't wait.
Our bonus show. Rich is going to go to bed for our bonus show. Rich may not be here.
I
But
took so much caffeine to stay awake for this one, Dan, that I'm going to be up all night anyway. So I might as well just sit there and look miserable. Why not?
but our goal is achieved. There will be the bonus show tonight. I'm going to make it public right now. So, Rich, you give us your final thoughts on today, good or bad, on these Marvel Legend reveals.
I'm not into the Gamerverse. I don't care about them. But yeah, X23 looks good. Warpath could have been better, but I will be getting that 2-pack. But I've saved a lot of money, so that's a good thing. I will not be ordering Spider-Man Wave, so I suppose that's good in the long run, innit?
Yeah. No, I don't need to. I don't need to buy everything. People think I do, but I don't. And the Gamerverse is definitely that slice of the Marvel Legends world that I don't indulge in as much. It's not one that I gravitate towards, but I understand that there's an audience for it. So I'm happy that you are happy. It doesn't mean I have to hate on things. I don't like the type of people that hate on things just because it's not for them. Because the world would be the world's a weird place as it is. But I'm like, do you know, people like different pizza toppings, but people don't go around screaming in your face because you don't like the same pizza toppings. Do you know what I mean? It's like,
You shouldn't have pineapple on a pizza, though. That's just wrong.
no, that is weird. You're a fucking weirdo if you do like. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. But you know what I mean? Like people, if everybody on this planet, right, genuinely, if everyone on this planet, regardless of it, toys, collectibles, whatever it is, like the same thing, the world would be a boring place. Do you know what I mean? It's okay to like different things and everyone have their own unique preferences and tastes and whatever. It's fine. It's okay, people. Can the collecting community just understand that it's okay to not like the same things? It's okay. That's what makes everyone unique. What makes you special? Talking about cheese on pizza. There's a bit of cheese for you. Right, I've made the bonus show public. So it's now, I'll post it in the chat right now. So we're going to go over to the bonus show. And if you are a channel member at the Who Crew Deluxe tier, you can follow us over there as well. I appreciate yous. Start hitting me up with those fresh DMs. But before we get out of here, I just want to remind you that this weekend is the last weekend before Toy Fair. And it's also a Legends and Liquor weekend. So we're going to be talking about Toy Fair on Legends and Liquor this weekend. What you would like to see from Toy Fair, not just from Marvel Legends, but from any of the brands that will be in attendance. Let's sort of put some stuff into the universe of what we would like to see at Toy Fair next weekend. So yes, if you want to be on Legends and Liquor this week, then hit me up with a fresh DM this evening, and I will get you on board. All right, let's talk Toy Fair this Sunday, which is Sunday the 22nd. No, 23rd. 23rd. It's only Thursday, isn't it? 23rd. So yeah, I'll see you there for Legends and Liquor. Don't message me Sunday, all right? I love you all. I appreciate every one of you, but don't message me 10 minutes before my stream starts, okay? Message me before Sunday. The doors close now on a Sunday, so I can set up my stream and have a nice stream on a Sunday. If you want to be on Legends and Liquor, you can message me at any time you want, just not Sunday, okay? I appreciate you all so much. Thank you very much. Rich, tell the good people where they can find you online.
Oh, well, obviously when I'm not gaming, you remind me on display once.
I'm off to play that game now.
I will be there.
You're going to go and enable yourself to want these figures now, Rich, by going to go and play the Gamerverse 2. Or you can do the Lazy J technique and just watch the cutscenes on YouTube.
I don't know why I didn't watch on YouTube like that. I don't know. What YouTube am I watching? There we go. VR, we watching it out in VR.
I had my VR headset ready for the Marvel stream. I was disappointed when it wasn't in VR. Oh, quickly before I went, by the way, it annoyed me because last night... it was going round. This was going round. I blame JC from Marvelous News, but this that's wrong button. Where is it? This image was going round, so it made me think that today's reveals would be like Daredevil related, because I was like, oh, okay, that tease. So that tease on the left, on the right, sorry, was from Mr. Stevie at Hasbro, and then it does sort of look like the colorway of the Daredevil logo. So I was thinking, oh, maybe that we will get some Daredevil reveals today. So I was even more disappointed that it was Gamerverse and we wasn't getting the new Daredevil and stuff. So yeah, damn, I blame JC. That's Jay-Z's fault. But anyway, ignore me.
They do better at Toy Fair, I'm sure, as the figures like that. I'm sure they'll have some like MCU reveals.
I'm hoping that they're getting this Gamerverse stuff out of the way, so they're saving the good stuff for Toy Fair. Because that's what I'm hoping. We'll find out in a week's time, but we've still got a stream before Toy Fair, so we'll fill the void with something, I'm sure. Right, we're going to go over to the bonus show. If you want to follow us over there, you can come over there right now. The link is in the description. It is also in the chat. Come and find us. Where is it? It's there. There it is. We appreciate you. Thank you so much for helping me hit the goal this evening. We're going to go over there right now. You will see us. We'll be back next week, and I'll be back on Sunday for Legends and Liquor. We appreciate you all. Like what you like. Don't like what you don't like. It's okay.
Pick up the new Fantastic Four from Ryan North. I read this while we were talking about this. Really, really good read. 90 minutes, and you can read the whole volume one.
Good stuff. Goodbye. See you next week, or Sunday, or in a minute if you're coming over to the bonus show. If you become a channel member at the Who Crew Deluxe tier, by the way, you can watch every bonus show we have ever done. So, extra content for you if you're like us rambling about toys. If not, click one of these, and I'll see you next week.